welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Heather Salter-Purves. I'm a queer author of dark fantasy, and I currently have one young adult dark paranormal fantasy out on Kindle Unlimited called Cursed Cove. Links are in the description if you are interested in looking at it over the spooky season and moving on to holidays. Today I just wanted to talk to you about the end of the year book tag reading plans I have, as we are going into the exciting NaNoWriMo time for writers. But it also means, as a reader, I would like to grab some books so I don't have decision fatigue of what I want to read when I'm trying to refill my well during my frantic drafting of Project Veil. So Ariel Bissett created the end of year book tag, so I thought I'd just take you through that and just talk about a bunch of books that I'm interested in reading in November, December time. The first question is, are there any books that you need to finish, that you started that you need to finish? I have a bunch of books on the go currently, such as The Moon Goddess's Daughter, Brink by Holden Shepherd, and a book called The Incarnate of Shadow and Light, which I have been sent lovingly a copy for review. That one is a debut queer fantasy by a self-published author, so I'm really looking forward to that. Second question is, I don't really have books that transition me into the end of the year. In Australia, it is moving into summer, so I don't really have like vibes, like autumnal vibes. New releases I'm still waiting on. I don't believe there are any new releases that I still need to have come out yet. Question 4 is, what are the 3 books that you want to read before the end of the year? They will be coming up in my reading plans. Yes, there is still a book that probably could still shock me and become my favourite book of the year. I've heard a great amount of them about this book, and it is on my list of books that I'm going to get to. It is a dark, twisted retelling of a fairy tale with a lot of trigger warnings, so I am aware of the content warnings in that book. And then the final question is, have you started making reading plans for the next year? Yes, I have. I did launch a book club. We did a soft launch of the Double Trouble book club, which is going to be reading. So I will be needing to get to that duology. So in case you haven't seen that video, it is linked here, and I've got to try and get these 2 chunky books read by Laini Taylor. So we've got Strange the Dreamer and Muse of Nightmares as its conclusion. I will be having a 2023 reading plan video coming up in late December, early January. So if you would like to know in depth a bit more about my reading plans, then please hit that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, because it really will support my channel. So diving into books and the end of the year TBR that I have, the Double Trouble book club is the one that I started, where we're going to read duologies. I'm going back to doing a reread of Strange the Dreamer. I genuinely love this book. I have so it will be Laini Taylor's Strange the Dreamer. Will be a reread for me. I adore her writing style. So a dream chooses the dreamer, not the other way around. Laszlo Strange is a war orphan, and he becomes a junior librarian, has this stark memory of this town called Weep, which 200 years ago disappeared out of the consciousness of the world, and there are gods, and the answers are gods and goddesses, and a convoy from Weep comes to Laszlo Strange's town and asks for his help. Muse of Nightmares goes a bit more into the deities. So in the wake of the tragedy, neither Laszlo nor Sorrow are who they were before is the tagline, but I won't read much more of that blurb for you. And then I have, this is the book I'm most thinking I will shock me and become a new favourite, and that is Juniper and Thorn. It is an adult retelling of the juniper tree. So the last true witches in the city are shifting magic industry. So there are 3 sisters, and they sneak out at night and go to the ballet and away from their tyrannical, xenophobic wizard father. They enjoy the amenities and thrills, but late night trysts turn to grow feverish, fervent and frequent, and is a different threat to her father's rage. While the magic flourishes in the enterprises, they're caught between the history and progress and the desire and blood. So it just sounds like it's going to be a rich, dark, twisted book I really am looking forward to. But there is a childhood essay, eating disorder, on-page eating disorder issues, dealing with trauma essay, body, gore and horror. So please do, if you are going to pick up Juniper and Thorn, check the trigger warnings or content warnings. And then I have a queer young adult standalone fantasy, which is Girl Serpent Thorn by Melissa Bashadourst. Sometimes the princess is the monster. There was and there was not. All stories begin with a princess cursed by the poison cursed to be poisonous to the touch. But for Saran, who has lived her life hidden away from everyone apart from her family, safe only to her gardens, it's not just a story. As the day of her twin brother's wedding approaches, the princess must decide whether she is willing to step out out of the shadows for the first time. Below the dungeon is a demon that holds the knowledge that she craves and the answer to her freedom. And above is a young man who's isn't afraid of her, whose eyes linger not with fear but with understanding, and who she is beneath the poison. Soroya thought she knew the place in the world, but now she chooses to her choices lead to consequences that she never imagined, and begins to question who she is and who she is becoming, human or demon, princess or monster. So that just sounds right up my alley. I then want to get to 2 young adult standalones from authors I have read quite a few books from, and that is Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black. So this is about 2 young children that go into the darkest part of the forest near their home and discover a glass casket, and inside lies a fairy prince that none have roused. He is the most fascinating thing Hazel and her brother Ben have ever seen. They dream of waking him, but what happens when dreams come true? The darkest part of the forest. You must be careful what you wish for. And then there is The Scorpio Race by Maggie Stiefvater. It's the first day in November, and so today someone will die. Even under the brightest sun and the frigid autumn sea, all the colours of the night, dark blue, black and brown, I watch the ever-changing patterns in the sand as it's plummeted by countless hooves. They run the horses on the beach on pale roads between the black waters and the chalk cliffs. It's never safe, but it's never dangerous as today, race day. So some races are won and other race to survive. It happens to be the first day in November. Scorpio races. Riders attempt to keep hold of their water horses long enough to make it to the finish line. Some riders live, others die. At the age of 19, Sean is the returning champion, and he is a young man of few words, and if he has any fears, he keeps them buried deep. Puck Connolly is different. She is meant to be a rider in the Scorpio races, but fate hasn't given her much of a choice. She enters the competition, the first girl who's ever done it, and she is in no way prepared for what happens next. So it's just a nice little standalone. And finally, the next set that has come up in what I want to read is the Crowning series by a lovely West Australian self-published author, Nattie Kate Mason, and it is thrilling as the heir to imagine a magical gifted kingdom of Alara must be chosen. Shape-shifting Prince Alexander is favoured to claim the title. A fire-wielding sister, Anastasia and Alicia feel one of them will take the crown. However, the eldest prominent heir, Princess Agnes, has other plans. some of the books, most of the books that I will be trying to get to in November and December. I would love to hear what you have on your list of books that you have and want to read for the end of the year. If you haven't already, please consider doing the end of year book tag. I will leave all the questions down below. So until next time, let's use our voices to promote positive change in the world. Thank you and bye for now.